sini. Tengok sekali dah.
Ke depan sana. Ke sini. Dan nanti ke
Sini boleh tak doktor? Nak ambil gambar cantik. Tapi Petronas kat sini.
oh, boleh.
Kami 7 orang. Saya cukup menaras lah kan. Selain doktor. Saya seorang di profesi. Boleh, dia tu pun doktor.
Dress apa kata jadi dah.
Jadi saya tak boleh ni. Ada apa?
Song banyak ni.
Saya tanya buat dia. Tapi tempat dia dah ragu. Tapi saya buat saya buat option. Saya harap kita bila keutamaan saya tapi
Tetap ada ni. This wall is okay, boleh.
Dia target dia dapat masuk itu.
Yang ni masuk kuat.
Ya, juga ada 10. Kalau Dr. Zurix kedua,
Saya tak semua sekali.
tak ada itu sorry. Jadi dulu.
Good. Saya 2 dah prepare lah. 3 kena. Check nasional tak? See what else.
Orang ni kan pakai t-shirt pun ada juga pakai t-shirt.
Susah hampir.
Ada meja. Yang ni letak sini. Ada. Terus letak dekat atas meja ni. Drop siapa pancar kan? Mana lampu? Mana cuan? Oh, dekat semua each tu ada. Pasal saya laptop kan? Kalau dia first kan?
Tak guna terus. Cucuk balik laptop. Ya, apa? Dekat ni je. Apa? Kat sini.
Maya ni boleh pakai. Kita duduk sini boleh? Nak ambil gambar kan?
Boleh.
Cuba yang ni doktor. Ini ni. Ini. Jam. Mokhtar. Gambar.
Masih ambil ke apa?
Apa nanti dia bagi?
Sampai.
Nanti masa nak bagi hadiah.
Certificate. Oh, okey. Tahu dalam tu ada sistem.
Eileen. Tu susun kursi ni kejap tak? Tekanlah sesuatu. Bagi center balik. 5 je. Mana dah? Mana keluar?
So you check at the entrance, so all of us stuck there.
Silakan Dr. Eileen. Eileen, pencet. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, keep up the practice.
Okay, boleh. Biar family get Okay. I see that. Okay.
Ada berapa nanti akan? Ya ini buat
Mereka kok.
Ayo satu juga. Dua ada.
Dan meja lah.
我讲前面 Good afternoon, everyone. So we are about to begin. Please be seated. So before we begin, let me give a few housekeeping announcements. And switch off your switch it to silent to avoid interrupting today. For the student of HSS for management, you are required to self-reflective involved in this session today. Okay, thank you very much for this. Then, a very good afternoon and salam Malaysia Madani. So, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the PETRONAS Industry Talk on Engineering and Project Management, co-organized by the Faculty of Electrical Engineering UTM and the Group Technical Solution GTS Petroleum National Park, also known as the PETRONAS. So it's my pleasure to be the Master of Ceremony today. My name is Bruce Liao from the Wireless Communication Center, Faculty of Electrical Engineering. So let's start the session today by welcoming our distinguished guests, invited speakers and esteemed colleagues from the faculty and also from our PETRONAS. So first, I welcome our invited guest today, our dear engineer, Dr. Zurix Mohamed, Custodian of Instrument and Control, GTS PETRONAS, and fellow principals of Instrument and Control from GTS PETRONAS, Mr. Effendy Aziz, Mr. Kamil and Arshad, Mr. Azmi, Mr. Rahimi, Zaman, Jusoh, Rashid, Technologies, Zulkarnain, Mokhtar. Professor Engineer Dr. Sedia, Liza, Binti Zulkarnain, Engineering Management Course Coordinator, and also the Program Leader for the event. Respected lecturers of the Engineering Management courses, fellow staff and students of the Faculty of Electrical Engineering UTM. So let's begin our program today with the Doha recital. So I'd like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Mokhtar to come on stage to lead the prayers. And the Fatiha. So, ladies and gentlemen, PETRONAS is not only a household name in Malaysia, but also a global energy group with a presence in over 100 countries around the world. And also is also ranked in the Fortune 500 global companies. PETRONAS is headquartered at the iconic landmark PETRONAS Twin Towers. So it's our honor today to have our distinguished speakers from PETRONAS Group and Technical Solution today. Ladies and gentlemen, to kickstart our program today, I'd like to invite my dear Dr. Engineer Zurix Mohamed, Measurement Custodian GTS PETRONAS, to deliver his opening remarks. So before we begin, let me give you a brief introduction of our speaker today. So Engineer Dr. Zurix Mohamed is currently the Custodian of Instruments and Control, specialized in measurements under the Group Technical Solution, GTS, PETRONAS. It's recognized as the professional engineers by the Board of Engineers Malaysia, the Secretary for the International Society of Information, official reviewer for the IEC/HC65A, and member of the Malaysian Oil and Gas Services Council. He has over 20 years of working experience in refining industry, in which he has completed degree in electrical electronics engineering and completed his PhD in engineering in 2021. He joined PETRONAS in 2003 and climbed up the technical path as principal under instruments and control in 2017, and was then assigned to Custodian measurement in 2023 to manage the technical and governance related matters in PETRONAS. So let's put our hands together to welcome our first speaker, Dr. Zurix.
Thank you, Doctor. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon. Yang bahagia Profesor Sia, professors, doctors, colleagues, lecturers, students. How was your lunch?
Very good.
Very good. So I heard that there are about 30% of international that's not from Malaysia today. Can I see this of hands? Okay. So I know that some are from the Middle East, some from China. Do we have other than that? From Dubai. Okay, right. So I hope that you like that in Malaysia, especially the food. So anyway, my name is Zurix, and I've been working with PETRONAS for about 20 years. Anyone here who doesn't know what PETRONAS is? You know, right? PETRONAS is a Malaysian oil and gas company that we not just gas petrol that the oil we produce in Malaysia, but also exported out. So if you go to any petrol station here, you can just go to PETRONAS station, you go to the Shell station, you go to Petron, you go to what else? PHP. So you know what's the difference between those petrols? Okay, think of it this way. Okay? You've got water, normal water. And you've got orange syrup, you've got rosemary syrup, you've got cranberry syrup. So the base of the water is still, the base of the drink is the water. It's just that the additive is different. So that one is different from each of the petrol that you take actually. Okay, easy to understand, right? So anyway, I've got a short slide. You've got to do a second after this, right? Okay, so better pay attention, right? Okay. Sorry? That's somebody. I don't have the answers. Sorry. Okay, so let's see this one, yeah. Okay, so PETRONAS, right? So PETRONAS, we consist of 4 businesses. Right? So we got the upstream, downstream, gas, renewable energy, and the PDNT. So I'm here today as part of the, basically we are here from the Twin Towers. You know Twin Towers? Anyone been there before? Everyone go up there? Yes, no? Okay, those who haven't, please take a chance to go up there. If you are able to go up there, just go from the second level. You can go up there. I think there's a small fee, right? The fee up there. Better be your lecturers, so professor can sponsor you. Okay, so anyway, basically PDNT adalah. So basically we are responsible to deliver project, technical engineering, technology, and digitalization functions, upstream, downstream gas, and new energy. So as a center assistant to product group and stewardship for project delivery technical accounting. So basically what we're saying that what do we do at the tower actually, right? We just sit there and what do we do? So Petronas, we've got standards. Like when we develop something, I've got a question for that. Everyone is going to become an engineer, right? Prof, can I start with the first, just one question for me? Just one question for me. But I'll give you the answer. Should I give them the answer or they have to answer? If they get it wrong, then you don't get prize and you don't get the answer. Okay, so the question is, this question was asked to me when I was about your age. How old are you now, most of you? Yeah, we're about the same age. Okay, so anyway, there was an engineer, his name is Arshad. So he was the one who asked me, so he asked me to question. He asked me, so Zurix, what course is taking? I told him I'm taking engineering, mechanical and different engineering. So he told me, he asked me, what is, you want to become an engineer? I said, yes, I want to become an engineer. So he asked me, what is an engineer? So now I'm throwing the question back to you. What is an engineer? Yes, sir.
Basically, my understanding of the role of an engineer is a person who can use technology and innovation to solve the most pressing problems of our time. Basically.
Okay, that's right. Too easy, huh? Okay, so basically, engineer, it comes to the ethics of generator when you take your IR. Who here has already have your IR? So basically, when you take your IR, you're going to have to take the ethics faster. And just like doctors, for example, if doctors see the sick person, should he or she attend to it? And ethically, should help, right? They should not. What about engineers? What is the ethics of engineers? Now, we don't have anyone being sick. Do we have to attend? You see, there's a broken chair, you go and fix it. What is the ethics of engineers? Who can tell me? Actually, this should be the question, right? Okay, never mind. So, anyone want to know what is the ethics of engineers? Integrity? Not really, but close. Integrity is right, but okay, here's what engineers do. How many types of engineers do we have? How many disciplines do we have? So, got civil, mechanical, we've got electrical, human, we've got bio, you've got the biomedical engineering here, right? Can I see the hands? Okay, so we've got some biomedical engineering. So ethically, for example, you are a mechanical engineer. Yeah, mechanical engineer. So mechanical engineering is so broad. You're talking about manufacturing, you're talking about static, you're talking about dynamics. There's so many things, right? So if there is a mechanical failure or mechanical that needs to be attended to, and you as a mechanical engineer, should you attend to it? Yes, if and no if. So the answer is it is only ethical for you to attend to something that you know about it. So that is the ethics of engineers. Engineers, you cannot attend to something that you know that you don't have the knowledge of it. Right. So these are the questions that was taught to me when I was younger, still young. So okay, I'll go answer with the just now we talk about so Group technical solutions. So this is where we're coming from basically. So we provide, this time we're starting talking about the what do we do at the LCC tower. So basically, Petronas has got a lot of projects going on, a lot of projects going on, a lot of things going on, a lot of ventures going on. So how do we manage or control this type of projects and to make it standardized? Governance. So that's what the center does. We provide governance. We provide the way forward. Where do we do that? For example, one of the requirement of engineers, which one day will do, basically, is the selection of technology. For example, if you become an electrical engineer, so there are so many types of technologies for the people. So which one do you choose? So there must be some standards, right, that you have to choose, right? So the standards must be put into written somewhere. So that is what the people in, that's what we do relatively. That's what we do. Okay? So that is the technical standards, talking about provide engineering technical services, solutions. Right? Okay? So this is basically talking about the Petronas Global Technical Solutions which we are under it. So these are the partners that we have basically, the partners that we have to project. Might not be updated, but majority are there. Right? So again, you've got the GTS, you've got the Shelter, you've got the MMC, Petroflex, and not just in Malaysia, but also around the world. See, you've got Middle East, Europe, Canada, China, South Sudan. So it doesn't mean that if you work with Petronas, you get to go to all these places. So it's just that it means that these are the places that we have our businesses at. Who here wants to work with Petronas? Anyone want to work with Petronas? You want to work with Petronas? Okay, you can go to Canada. I'm pretty sure. Okay, anyway, so these are the places that we have businesses at basically. So Petronas is we are very versatile. We don't just stick to Malaysia businesses for oil and gas. We also do businesses with ventures into other with other companies as well, joint ventures. Okay. Okay, some of our Petronas technologies. So when you talk about technologies, we've got technologies at the offshore, we've got the, I don't know whether you can see that. This is the technology. So onshore, we've got talking about the ground, the geo, we're talking about the control system, we're talking about the onshore, we're talking about the alarms, we're talking about the all kinds of solutions. So Petronas doesn't just go and buy the solutions. We develop our own systems. Right. Have any of you heard of predictive technology? Yes, no? No. What? Preventive, predictive, prescriptive. You heard of that? Yes, no, you so? Yes, predictive. So in the new era now, you know which I won't ask you questions. So in the new era now, we are going towards predictive technology. Right? You know why? Who here drives a Mercedes? Anyone here drives a BMW? Sorry? Volkswagen? Maybe. Okay, for example, maybe you've seen anywhere that when you sign to service your car, they will tell you time to service your car. So why? Why does it tell you? That's a question. Yeah, it's telling you that by the end of this mileage, if you don't service your car, something will go wrong with your car. It's telling you, it's predicting that by this much, you don't do something, to damage. But then we're talking about cars. But imagine you've got a big plant. You've got a big refinery, or you've got a big platform. So if you are from working with later, you'll be working with electrical equipment, you've got big transformers, big pumps, big motors. You're not talking about those small motors that you use for the, use as small motor for protect, you've got big motors. You're talking about 11 kilovolt, you've got 415. You guys familiar with that, right? Right. So big motors. So those are the things that you because so we not by having predictive, you can actually measure what is the lifespan left for the things, right? So these are the types of technology. And for instruments, basically, or background for instrument. So these are some of these in-house developed tools that we have for instrument. So we got the control valve analytics, on-off valve analytics, sensor with analytics, early level failure analysis for tank gauging system, instrument inventory database, system controller surveillance, integrated prover, distribution, flow meter, remote calibration, measurement assurance analytic program, well test equipment selection and surveillance. And I'm happy to tell you that the developer of these systems here are actually here. These are the developers. So these systems here has become PETRONAS system. So just imagine if you have the capability to design something, right? You can make it into PETRONAS technology, right? So perhaps later they can introduce which technology that they have produced, or you can ask them during the forum. Okay, this is the PETRONAS mantra basically. So moving forward together, 50-30-0. So why is this? Is because it's telling that in the year 2025, to have 50% improvement in cash flow. The growth has got to be 30% revenue by 2030, and sustainability you've got net zero by 2050. Right. So committed to pursue profitable growth. Okay, so this is the typical organization structure, technical and managerial line. So who here wants to become an engineer when they grow older? Who wants to become a manager when they grow older? Who wants to become a housewife? Let's see that. Not guys. So anyway, I heard somewhere, I don't remember where, that the guys stay at home and the ladies work. That would be nice, right? Okay, that's the thing. So anyway, in the year 2002 basically, so PETRONAS introduced this kind of structure in which that if you are an engineer and you want to remain as an engineer as you go older, you don't want to become a manager, you still want to become an engineer until you retire. So we introduced the technical profession path, the PT, and also we introduced the managerial line. But of course, they've got the level of engineer. You don't remain as a junior engineer forever. So you got to go through some assessment, some tests to make sure you're qualified to become the next level of engineer. So typically, engineer, sub-executive, and then become senior engineer or senior executive. Then if you decide to go for technical profession, you go for TP staff, or you can go for manager. And then you grow up, you become TP principal or senior manager, you become TP custodian or general manager. And you stop there. As you go further, you cannot become an engineer anymore. That's where you stop, basically. Because after that, engineers need to look at everything globally, not just something that you are in fact. They start to look at shaping, strategizing the way for PETRONAS. Right? And then so as CEO and so the president. Right? So basically in PETRONAS, we have Petronas, we've got 442 project engineers, custodian engineers, 145 technical profession, lead staff engineers. So basically 5450 management engineers and executives. So you know, being an engineer, later on become an engineer, and in fact now, you have to ask a lot of questions, not just question, but question why. So engineers must always have the question why in your mind, why. So the question here is, what do you have the question for me here? You don't have any questions for me here? Exactly. Why am I showing this? Right. Why is this so important? So we're saying that in Petronas, I think not just Petronas, any other companies as well in oil and gas, engineers are important. The engineers are important. That's why we're showing that custodian and what kind of engineers we have, technical profession, the lead engineers. That's important to ensure that continuity of the company, business of the company. Okay. So this is the org chart basically. So I'm sorry, actually our topmost Mr. Fizal is supposed to be here, but unfortunately he got some other thing that's got to attend, so he's not here. So he's our group technical authority between everything and anything that we do, any changes in technology, anything that we do, we've got to go to him. He's got to go to him. Right, so we've got 3 custodians, and also we've got the folks. Yeah, of course, when we do something, we've got to build it, not build it, but do something, we've got to have a foundation so that we know what we're doing, we are on the right path, we are on the right roadmap. So this is when also strategic roadmap. We've got the foundation, governance, capability, collaboration, focus on safeguarding institution, consultancy, safety, stewardship, moving forward, strength the core, technology, sustainability, for growth. Right. So again, the question is, why am I showing all of this? Yes. So I'm showing because as top engineers, you must be based on some sort of foundation. That's what we do in the tech. Okay. So of course, this is the breakdown of the house just now. We focus, we said about the strengthened core, technology digitalization, proper growth, and also sustainability. And here is also the foundation of the house, right? Stewardship, safeguarding, shipping, socially possible. Okay, so what are we doing? What is the main focus is human and control of 2022. So we look at many things basically. Look at safety, life cycle, engineering solution, decarbonization, technical application, capability enhancement, operation excellence, so many things. Right? Okay, so basically, have you heard of I don't know, when I think when I was at your age, some people say that, hey, you study, why you study so hard, you don't even use your theory things when you go to work. Is that what they're telling you? Is that true? Yes or no? Yes and? Yes and no, why?
So we're going to give you the basic information, the key information of what you're gonna do, but then the actual work was different. Like real life do is was different than what you said here.
Okay, but who here doesn't know about Ohm's law? Everyone knows about Ohm's law? Yes or no? And it's fine. Do you think Ohm's law will be used when you work? Where? Where do you use Ohm's law in your house? What you say, oh, look up there at home. But it's always there and it keeps you safe. This is not work yet, it's only at home. How about your, do you know that there's a rod on top of your house? What's it for? So why do you need a rod? Right?
Is this
one?
part of your
Section now. But why? Why? How does it work?
create a part of this?
Why does it go to ground? Lower resistance. So current travel in the lowest resistance. Is that no coleslaw? See, everything that you do later on, you will be depending on, for example, I give you an example of the thing I know. Even your car has a day, you know, the ground, your house has got a day, everything has got a day. So whenever you say that hey, you don't really use what you learn when you work, you tell them everything you do use, just that you don't realize it. I think last time I didn't ask about the who here is power, electrical power? So everyone taking power? The power, right? The power, right? So what law does what law does UPS use? UPS, uninterruptible supply. You're not sure about UPS? Maybe other not the simple yet. Okay, so anyway, I think that's about time for me. So okay, that's all for me. That I think
But you really love me, this.
so anyway, I just want to tell you that later during the forum, they've got all the experts here. Make sure you ask lots of questions to them. It doesn't matter whether it's a technical question or a non-technical question, you ask them, that will benefit you, that you know. Right? So I think that's all for me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Now we will go about GTS. Because if you have any question later, you can engage with the speaker and to ask more about companies and other things they do. Right, so second event for today, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the public lectures on PETRONAS best practices in engineering management. So allow me to introduce our speaker, Mr. Effendy, Instrument Control Principal, GTS PETRONAS. Mr. Effendy graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from Vancouver Polytechnic Institute, New York in 1996, and is currently a Chartered Engineer for UK and TUV Certified Functional Safety Holder. So Mr. Effendy started his career as a project engineer in CC project during the first PETRONAS wholly owned ammonia urea fertilizer plant in Gunung Kedah. His responsibility was the project delivery for instrumentation and control, where he oversees the completion of project from construction until commissioning of the facilities, and later maintenance and operation, serving under various functions, including technical service and support, with activity including function around maintenance planning, reliability, and capital projects. He was involved in two major capital projects, 500,000 mega methanol plant in Labuan, and also the first deep water floating liquefied natural gas, which was commissioned in 2021 directly from the subsea well. His involvement provided him with a valuable experience including engineering, construction, project commissioning, encompassing various business sectors from upstream, downstream to marine. He also been actively involved in plant project change and plant startup and commissioning, which involved, as said, in bottlenecking, rejuvenation and upgrade as the recent new plant in Panelist complex. You know it, right? It's in Johor. It is currently serving under the group technical solution, looking at the strategic digital transformation to converge the various technologies and data lakes. It aims to provide a platform for the asset to converge and obtain insight from into single source of truth to improve the overall reliability and ensure sustainability of the plant. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Effendy to deliver his public lectures. Mr. Effendy, please share.
Thank you, Assalamualaikum and Professor Dr. Sovia, Professor and lecturers, also students. Okay, I'll be presenting a little bit about engineering best practices for engineering management. I'm sure I think most of you have taken some of the engineering management courses. We just check. Have everyone taken the course? Or everyone
Taking.
taking right now? Okay, good. So I'll be sharing what we are practicing in Petronas. And maybe what you can do is to be able to actually use it or probably try to understand what this. Okay. And so the way I'm going to look at this is we'll cover a little bit on production, right? And I think this is something is important. So I think Dr. Zurix mentioned earlier, we have framework and governance. That's one of the hallmark for our Petronas way of doing engineering management. We'll cover a little bit about deliverables and data process, right? This is something I think probably is pretty in your syllabus. We'll cover a little bit of that. There's also tools and software that we'll be looking at. And one of the most important part for engineering management practice is to look at the risk management, right? And standardization. As well, in the final part of it, we look at digital solutions and also how we use digital in our engineering practice. Right. So for framework, as you can see from here, right? What we have in Petronas is the 4 levels of documentation. And any time we bring our governance and our documentation. We look at that, the way we do it is L1, L2, L3, and L4 documentation. And L2 is where the framework is defined for our engineering governance. Right? So we do have a lot of projects in Petronas. So we need to a way to actually manage all those things. And I'm not sure if anyone is aware, but the process is pretty simple. We use a PDCA cycle. I think some of you may have done this in the process. Am I right? So it's basically the same principle. And if you look at the element within the PDCA, there's a couple of key elements there. And some of them is on leadership and organization. We cover on planning. We also look at legislation and regulatory, strategic communication, performance management, and at the end of it is implementation. Okay. So how do we actually look at the project management? If you look at how we organize this, there's actually a couple of phases, right? Look on the left side of it. We have our tools, and then in the project itself, right? We need to do what we call a phase process, right? Or data process. And this comes with the 4 main items to frame the project. Once you frame the project, start the front end loading. So maybe I can ask anyone's familiar with front end loading is. Anyone? Any takers?
Is it the planning side? Part of the planning phase? the planning aspects of the.
Yes, to some extent, the front-end loading means that we do a lot of requirement preparation and planning, right? And put a lot of the specification in engineering equipment. Right? When you do that, it helps to actually deliver the project smoothly and it helps to give you more definition in your deliverables. And when you go through the cycle of the project, you have your execution, and then at the end, you start out the commissioning or even your operations. But this project will apply not only for oil and gas, you have all the upstream, downstream, and everything, but this actually applies to any project that you can. So just go a little bit more detail on that, right? The gated process that we have. Right? So what we have here, as you can see, we have, if you look at some of the portions here, especially when we do the fair portion, is doing the right project, right? The right value. And the first part of it is doing the framing part. Identify the value that you give to the project. Right? And this is where I think you look at your project, you do your ROI, financial plan. Once you've done that and get the approval for your management, you move on to the next one, is the feasibility study. So this feasibility study is where you look at some of your technical requirements, what kind of concepts or design requirement that you want to put in. Right? But there can be many variations in doing this portion. So this is where you decide your various concepts. And then you move on to the next stage. So when we have this data process, we ensure that the quality of your deliverables is provided in your project is actually followed closely or adhered to by whoever is actually executing the project. At step 2, you want to look at your scope selection, right? And at step 3, you start to define your scope. This is all actually still in the phases, right? It's actually only when you finish step 3 that's when you actually do your final investment decision, is FID. And when you do your FID, basically you start to actually budget everything and put it into execution. Right? So that is where you look at execution stage. Normally call this EPCC, or engineering, procurement, and construction. When you go through those phases, you actually start to build and install the city, your testing and your commissioning. So I'm not sure if this is covered in the process. It's done in a lot of the big projects or the major projects. And it's a way or method for us to ensure that the quality of the deliverables are given. Okay. Again, I'm covering a little bit on why FEL is important on the front end loading. You can see from the graph here, right? When you actually start your front end loading, you actually identify the value up front. And if you look at the graph, you'll see that it depends on how good the definition of your project is. If you have good project definition and execution, your value savings and your value addition to the project will be very good. And if you don't define your project clearly, and up at the bottom right. So something that if you look at it, I think we've seen some bad project management as well, right? Where you don't define properly, then you end up, usually over cost, over budget, and also usually you have delays. It's very important to actually define this. Okay, for the products as well, what we have is
we do have a lot of digital solutions and a lot of platforms that we utilize. So I think as all the engineers here may be using some of the software, right? I think you have your engineering tools, size, lab, and whatnot. So same as what we have at Petronas, we also have our engineering tools to help deliver the product. So as you can see from the website here, we do have some of these tools that we deliver, right? We have asset life study. We also have API, or what we call a system-operated protective function. We have one very important system here, which is called PDMS, or Engineering Data Management System. So that's where we put all our engineering deliverables for all the projects in one place. This is closely utilized by all the projects to ensure that we do the tracking and we do the reviews, and we ensure that every comment that is what they call is captured by the engineers is actually followed through by the project contractor. Right, so in PDMS, just tell me if I'm moving a little bit too fast, so just slow down. In PDMS, we have all the engineering deliverables. As you can see, when all these deliverables are kept in a single system, you can actually do all your reviews. Used to be, I think right now, a lot of you may do this separately, save it in all your native format. But the goal of PDMS is to find all the deliverables in one place and to ensure that you are able to actually view, in this case, 3D models, right? As you can see from here, what we do is we do the models together with factor, right? And it comes in many different formats. You have 1D, the 2D, and your 3D representation. So that's a combination of all the drawings and data that we need to build the That's a very important system for us. On to the next item. So we also have risk management. I think in any engineering deliverables or any project, identifying your risk is an important element that we need. And for Petronas, we did this by putting 12 elements important for us, right? And we cover this in all aspects, right? We cover this in terms of quality, in terms of training, in terms of leadership. So as you can see from the right side, the risk assessment covers every aspect of your engineering. So it's not just the technical portion, right? It covers even the project schedule, it covers your technical assessment, your surveys, right? The contractors, whether your contractor can perform the job. Covers the project team as well, whether you have the right team in the project, right? And more importantly, like location is also critical, whether you selected the right plot for your project. All right. Before I move on to the next, probably would be good to ask a short quiz, test your understanding. What is front-end loading? Anyone? Like other people.
Okay, so we have two business questions which we will have present, some small present for you. First, to answer correctly. Anyone?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so what is front-end loading? I hope that's clear when I explained it earlier. Did anybody catch it?
So for the front-end loading is like a gated process. The purpose of it is to improve the planning, in the planning phase of the project. So you need to set up the proposal, you need to go through that. And it's like 3 gates. And this is to ensure the quality.
Oh, very good.
Kita buat.
Fine.
Ada tak?
Okay. Okay. On the subject of engineering management as well, right? We also need to cover standardization of engineering deliverables requirements. Right? So basically, there are 3 key areas that must work this group. So one of the key aspects here is to look at the standardization of data. So, and in Petronas, we embark on what we call CFOS. I'll just explain it a little bit more later in the next slide. But the idea is, we think of data as data, right? But data actually exists in so many forms, right? As you can see earlier, there's 1D, 2D, 3D data. And every variation of this data can cause a lot of delays and verification where you want, right? Because you have suppliers, you have vendors, you have contractors. And data is very important to be able to be transparent and simple across all the value chain. And to do that, that's why there is this drive from the industry, right, to actually look at standardizing this data. So it's very similar to how we have imposed it maybe 100, 200 years ago. We have standardized the units, right, like material standards and so metric standards, right? Once you've done that, you actually are able to ensure that your dimensions and your weight and whatnot is easy, it's understandable, right? And you don't get exploited for that. And the same thing goes for data, right? When you deliver your engineering requirements, right? It seems pretty simple, but there's so many data attributes that you actually require in an engineering data sheet drawings, that you have to ensure that those standards and what you understand between you and the contractor or the third party is all the same. Sometimes the label may sound the same, but actually it's probably a different thing. And not to complicate things, we deal also with international contractors like us computers. And language becomes also another barrier of the data, right? So you call the data another name, another language. It's something different from what you are used to. Okay, so the other part of standardization is also looking at the practices on engineering. And to reduce this variability and also gain for study, Petronas embark on this, what we call as DEMM, right? DEMM. It's basically an engineering guide or for short, design engineering management manual. And lastly, where this is very important for most projects, and I'm pretty sure some of you may have heard of, I'm sure if any of you have heard of PTS? Anyone? No? So PTS stands for Petronas Technical Standards, right? So we have our own internal company standards where we define all the requirements and how certain things should be done, a certain way of doing things and preventing all those mistakes that we can do. It's very similar to Malaysia, where we have the civil standards, right? So the same thing as establishing these internal standards, the requirement for us, and we also refer to IS, which is also an international standard. So this international standard is there's many for every discipline, right? There's Azmi, API, right? There's IUC, IEEE. Maybe some of you have heard about it, or maybe not, but it's a way. it's a way to actually help you define your requirements. And this is practices that have been, consolidated by a lot of the experts in the field, right? And they use this to ensure that in future you avoid any of the mistakes or errors that has occurred previously. Right, a little bit about CFOS. Right, so CFOS stands for Capital Facility, Capital Facility Formation and Handover Specification. Right? So this is one of the industry standards that actually, what do you call this, being utilized by a lot of the industrial majors, our suppliers, right? And also the vendors and contractors. And as you can see from here, the idea is to ensure that we can cross all the data seamlessly, right? So what happens right now is, I think, maybe just to give you an example, right? When you produce your deliverables, either it's in a software format and whatnot, more often than not, you actually submit this either in some sort of PDF or some sort of another format that's easy to read by people, but when you want to use it to do recalculation or derive that back, you actually need to re-enter back all those values and data, right? So with CFOS, you're able to actually use this across all the softwares and platforms. So this ensures that you minimize wastages and you minimize time to avoid all these transaction losses. Yeah, this is just a workflow. I think I'll just skip this, but as you can see from here, the workflow is to ensure that every part of the role by the project team is actually covered to ensure that we get the data that we want upfront. Right, so this is Design Engineering Manual, DEMM. As you can see from here, it's a document that's been produced. So we have two parts to this. We have the engineering design governance. This helps to dictate what are the engineering elements that we need to cover for when we do all our design requirement. And this covers all disciplines, right? So in this DMM, we specify the type of deliverables for mechanical, for electrical, for instrument. At each phases of the project, as you remember earlier, in the FEL 1, 2, and 3, this DMM actually produces that list of deliverables. Then at the same time, we also have the engineering management portion, right? And this ensures that what kind of framework and what kind of roles and responsibilities are defined inside the system. And to ensure that, when you produce all this, it follows that requirement. Okay, a little bit about our PTS. As you can see, we have 9 elements. These are our technical standards that we have. But of course, I'll be focusing a little bit more on the design and engineering part. So even in the design and engineering part for PTS, I think we have right about 10 disciplines, something, right? So we have electrical, we have mechanical, we have subsea, we have instrumentation. So every single discipline thing is covered here. And this ensures that we have a way of putting all the best practices and lessons learned inside. Okay, I think this is covered. Skip this one. Right, so on the last part here, or maybe I'll just, before we start here, maybe anybody knows what management of change is, or engineering management of change? Oh. So any answer? According to Professor Dr. Sylvia, is covered in your syllabus, in chapter 4. Anyone knows what MOCs are?
they list down the engineering changes for a particular product. Let's say if you change the dimensions of a hole or the tolerances of the product, you have to mention it in the engineering change. So there's traceability in the history.
What else?
So that's not
Right. Why do you need to have that? I mean, why do you need to have the traceability on change? What's the main purpose for it?
but plane crashes, you know why?
True. I
Disaster.
mean, that's just like trying to assign blame to someone. But no, I mean, the idea is that you could track those changes and to see when you look at it, especially to evaluate the risk. Right? When you do any change, you want to know how the risk is introduced to the change. So it can be a small risk, it can be a big risk, right? So the change ensures that those risks are managed properly and is proved by a group of technical experts, right? And who has evaluated itself in the future, probably, right, as an engineer. So when you evaluate this in your respective field later, right, you would be able to understand why those changes are needed or why those changes is required as well in your project. Because whenever you do any project, changes will always be there. There will always be cases where constraints, the time requirement that you can't, you set up as one goal, but at the end, it's going to be okay. At the end of during the project itself, you'll find that it's not as straightforward as things it is. The next part, the next important part is also to actually get the funds to do the change. So typically, whenever a change occurs, you will need to allocate some cost to those change. Of course, the idea of the change is the three key elements that you want to do in terms of the change. Sometimes what you want to do is to actually improve the design or the reliability of the change. Sometimes you have to get rid of bugs or all the issues, right? And another part is also to ensure that you have a better safety design. Maybe what you have previously is good, but you have a new idea or innovation that can improve those changes. This is just a flow, right, from our guideline in what was done. And as you can see from here, identifying and implementing the risk is one of the key elements in prevention of change. And it's quite critical for us in Petronas, as you know, when we deal with oil and gas, you have hydrocarbons, flammable material, toxic materials. That's actually always present. So that's one of the risks working in the oil and gas industry. Okay? So the element of risk is always there and it's always going to be part of our daily activity. Okay, I think I covered most of the subject. We'll cover a little bit on the application of what we've done. If you look at the digital part of here, right, this is something that we are doing for the future. So what we call from a digital platform, it's called integrated digital engineering. And basically, it's trying to integrate all the work process from, as you can see just now from earlier, from the PEL 1, 2, and 3, and putting all this data and also the workflows all together in a single platform. So the solution that we have on the top, we call it as augmented engineering review. Augmented engineering review basically wants to try to improve that process. Because currently, when you look at your software, your calculations, and so on, it takes a lot of man-hours, right? So what you can do with this augmented engineering is certain things which is simple to check, right? I think most of you may have already taken some of your programming courses. Is it correct? All right. So I think if you if you look at 20 years back when you do programming, the debugging software is all done manually. Right? Most of the time, you have to actually check line by line. But nowadays, there's a lot of software where it can help to find out some of the bugs immediately, right? The moment you have a syntax problem or any issues, it tells you that, you're not doing it right. Yes. So if you're not doing it correctly, it tells you that. So the same thing with AR. So the main idea is to look at how you do the engineering and to help you to expedite that process, right? So that you don't have to actually detail out every single step of the process. And we also have a lesson learned process during our project. Every project, we capture all the lessons learned that we have. We keep this in a repository. We evaluate them. We evaluate every item. Then we decide and evaluate whether this is useful later for future projects. And so some of the key item here is to look at the right side. Right? The most important part is you have people, you have the process, and you have the tools, right? Or basically you have your governance to help actually merge all this together. You have good people, you have good governance, and you have good process. So AER helps to integrate all these three in digital platform through a web-based system, and it helps to expedite the process. Right, so I covered a little bit about, we did a lot of projects in engineering management, but engineering management also covers a little bit about maintenance and operations. And if you look on the top side, I think Dr. Zurix mentioned earlier about predictive maintenance, descriptive maintenance. And you can see from here what those four elements are. And this actually helps to, when you do it in your plant or facility, right, there's different levels of how you maintain your equipment. Like you have your reactive maintenance, that's when you wait for it to fail before you actually do anything about it. Like you have your planned maintenance, so this is a time-based strategy. So this planned maintenance is something that you fix like your car, right? Every 5,000 miles you send for your oil change, and you follow exactly the same. But moving forward, we also have proactive and predictive, right? And the reason why a lot of plant facilities do this is to actually save cost, right? Because you, instead of waiting for the time, right, you want to extend some of the time. So this period, right? When you have predictive, you are able to actually, instead of waiting for 3 months, you can actually wait till the very last minute before something happens. And that prediction helps to tell you when exactly you're supposed to do it. As you can see from here, you have to bring your equipment to the best level at the cheapest cost, right? Or at the most cost effective point. So why do we have predictive maintenance? Well, the reason is, again, in our instrument department from GTS, we have, I think what Dr. Zurix mentioned earlier, some of the solution here, which I think he has already elaborated. As you can see, we have our control bar, above tractor, and whatnot. These are all maintenance solutions to improve reliability in the plant. And this is all built in-house through our own effort from our EPs or subject matter experts, together with our group. And that's why predictive maintenance and also the solution that we have helps to actually provide better resource management to the maintenance plant, right? Giving them more time to do analysis and actually ensure that we have the right decision when we want to do action. Okay, maybe just a short recap. I think this is the Wikipedia definition of engineering management. So I think just gonna let this that you guys read this. This is something that's quoted from Project Management Institute (PMI). It is basically application of engineering methods, tools and techniques applied to business management system. So you need a combination of what do you call this, technical know-how, a little bit on business acumen, right? Your economics, also the ability to actually communicate and do the planning part. That's what engineering management. So I'm sure a lot of you who have taken the course here would understand or knows the importance of this, and it's actually one of the important aspects in engineering when we do all the projects, when you guys do the projects. All right. I think with that, the one quiz. Okay. What is DEMM and why do we have it? Yeah. Anyone? Yes. Yeah. Why do we have it? Just a manual only. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, thank you all. Ends the session today.
Now, thank you all for coming. So, sharing of the engineering topics, and then we learn a lot of new things as well. So first, we have the thing, right? Digital tools that used by Mokhtar. You can see the items develop their own tools or automation or solution to improve their process, especially in terms of projects. And of course, we also talk about things like management changes. Last part, we talk about preventive, predictive, and predictive. Right. So, of course, oil and gas industry is always very attractive. That's one of the biggest pay. So, engineering career is one it's a field. Okay. So, to proceed with the next agenda, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to proceed with the roundtable discussions on the topic of engineers' challenges in sustaining technical know-how in industry. With that, I would like to invite the moderator, Associate Professor Engineer, Technology Software Eileen, and also our panelists from GTS PETRONAS, Mr. Kamil and Arshad, Mr. Azmi Hashim, Mr. Rahimi Zaman Jusoh of Rashid, and technologies Zulkarnain and Mokhtar to come on the stage. Let's give a round of applause to welcome our panelists and moderator.
A very good afternoon, good evening. I hope you are all awake now.
Right, so this roundtable discussion, we have our four expert panelists here for Petronas. The roundtable topic is actually based on engineers' challenges in sustaining technical know-how in the industry. So the questions that I have prepared for today will be centered around that topic, but I'm sure you have many other questions in mind. So keep that in mind first. So after the roundtable, you are free to ask your questions that interest you. All right. So first of all, let me introduce the panel. We have Mr. To my left, Mr. Mohamed Kamil, Mohamed Arshad. He's a principal engineer, instrumentation and control with Petronas Group Technical Solutions in Kuala Lumpur. He graduated from the University of Edinburgh and has been serving Petronas in the oil and gas industry for 26 years, with various experience in maintenance, engineering, reliability improvement projects in a refinery complex for fuel instruments and systems specializing in machinery control. He has also served as a lead instrument engineer, executing detailed engineering, construction, and commissioning for a petrochemical plant capital project located in southern Peninsula, Malaysia. And is currently performing technical consultancy and project services for Petronas facilities and projects, including digital initiatives for reliability and robustness improvement. Mr. Kamil. And then next, we have Mr. Azmi bin Hashim next to him. Mr. Azmi joined Petronas 28 years ago, serving in electrical, project management, maintenance, and now as principal engineer, instrument and control. He has delivered and co-authored in-house technical courses and reviewed Petronas technical standards, all on instrument and control. Mr. Azmi introduced Malaysian standard IBC 62443, a family of standards on operational technology cyber security, and was a technical committee for both managing cyber security in the process industry, a risk-based approach. Currently busy deploying INC-related digital solutions to group-wide facilities. Mr. Azmi graduated from Kamil University and is a chartered engineer as well as an ISA IEC 62443 cyber security expert. Next, we have Mr. Rahimi, Zaman, the Jusoh, Rashid, graduated from UTM Electrical and Electronics. Engineer Rahimi joined Petronas in 2007. Has been 16 years with Petronas. He started with Petronas Kari Gali, in which he has been involved in upstream business projects in Malaysia, Iraq, and Singapore. Now, his work involves engineering, procurement, construction, and commissioning. He transferred to GTS in 2016 to be involved in downstream business projects and plant support. He then became the technical manager for 2 years and then TP, technical professional, since 2016, specializing in measurement area. Mr. Rahimi. And finally, last but not least, we have professional technology, CS Zulkarnain Mokhtar, instrument and control principal. Mr. CS Zulkarnain Mokhtar is currently qualified principal engineer measurement based at Malaysian refining companies in Berhad and the plant division and has 60 years of working experience in Petronas. 2008, he started his career in Petronas as a metering instrument supervisor at Petronas Malacca refinery plant. After several years, he moved to the project and analyzer team and became measurement technical professional. He had led a mass number of projects for custody metering system, tank gauging system, and process analyzers. He is currently the digital focal person in the engineering department and also lead for maintenance predictive tools with MRCSD. So let's welcome all the panels. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Eileen, I'm a lecturer with UTM. Some of you may know me. Thank you very much for the support. So let's start with our first discussion point about technological advancements. Right. In the ever-evolving landscape of technology, engineers like yourselves constantly have to navigate the challenging terrain of rapid advancement. Before this, we have machine learning, then deep learning, now we have generative AI, right? The technology keeps changing. Staying abreast of the latest technologies has become a crucial aspect of your professional journey. May I know, how do you stay updated on the latest tools, technologies, and emerging methodologies relevant to your field? Maybe we can start with Mr. Kamil.
Thank you, Mary. Afternoon, everyone. Very cozy, nice weather outside today. Right. So, going straight to the answer to the question, I think for PETRONAS, PETRONAS engineers basically, how do we keep up to date? So the first thing we do is actually we have to liaise with the vendors, our technology solution providers, very closely. Engage with them, get them to tell us or explain to us the new technology that they're developing. So that's one of the key activities that we do to gain the latest technology. The other another way is actually to attend conferences or forums. Right? So usually technical conference or forum is where new technologies are being presented by the providers. And also, lessons learned on how to apply the technology is being shared by other companies, right? And how do we approach solving problems using these technologies. So, I think these are the two main for our technology engineers.
Okay, so typically, being very closely related to your vendors and then attending conferences and all that, right? How about Mr. Azmi? You have anything to add?
Right. For me, every year in Kuala Convention Center, several times in a year, sometimes they have this forum. For example, I know of one very famous is OGA, Oil and Gas Association. Right. They have it's not just talks, but more interestingly, they have thousands of vendor booths. So in the booth, they put up a display of their products, maybe it's a software, with the hardware. So that's where it is a vast opportunity for you to keep up with technology, to ask vendors what's new in the store market this year. Another way that I have noticed is that once you join a particular professional bodies, for example, IEEE or IET, or Institute of Measurement and Control. And ISC as well, International Society of Automation. Once you become a member, you will get magazines. Actually, was it every quarter? Access to application. So there's another avenue for you to be upkeeping with the internet.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Azmi also attend conferences, especially those delivered by vendors, right? Because they are very specialized in the niche areas, right? So, in the realm of engineering teams, how about the matter of knowledge transfer? Because you are all experts now and you have junior engineers working with you, right? When seasoned professionals retire or exit in the industry, how easy is it to have the knowledge transfer? So what strategies and practices can organizations like PETRONAS adopt to establish successful succession planning and ensure a seamless transfer of technical knowledge for the upcoming generation of engineers? Can you share your insight and experience, Mr. Rahimi?
Thank you, Dr. Eileen. Assalamualaikum, hello students. To answer that, when we talk about succession, we need to have in PETRONAS we actually have planning on for every engineers and also our technical professionals. And also we have employees that being hired as specialists. So we hire them especially because they have this certain knowledge that we don't have any in our department. So when this person joined our company, so we actually chart in 3 to 5 years, there will be engineers that can achieve that level of knowledge. So we identify a few engineers. So these engineers that will follow these specialists, so they can grab as much as possible the knowledge from these specialists. And also for our technical profession, like my two colleagues, and so they have engineers, young engineers, they actually follow them for the day-to-day activities project. So they can actually observe and learn how our TPs manage their day-to-day and also solve a few issues related to work plans.
Not just interns, do you also oversee interns, or would your engineers be assigned to oversee to supervise the intern?
For interns, we actually recruit interns from local universities, and also these students we assign to our senior engineers. These engineers actually have their specific assignments, but for example, for certain universities, they have 6 months of a period, right? So we will actually divide the internship period to cover as much as possible. For example, projects and also some solutions like presented by Dr. Zurix. So they can actually know that how we actually provide solutions to our end users.
So Kamil, continuous learning would be a very much embedded culture in Petronas, right? So how about what is the significance of cultivating a culture of continuous learning within your organization? May I know how did Petronas or yourselves as leaders in your respective team encourage your engineers to pursue further education, attend workshops, and engage in self-directed learning to stay abreast of industry development? Maybe we have TS Zulkarnain.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. So, to answer the question just now, as we know, Petronas is actually a technical company that very emphasize on the knowledge development. So, in fact, in our development, the way we want to upgrade is actually based on technical capability and development. There is a time that the experience and skill that is developed within the Petronas is gained through the experience that given to the staff actually. So some people who are really, I can say, hardworking, they can climb up fast in the company itself. So some of there is several efforts that has been taken by Petronas in order to expedite on the technical development. For example, like workshop and technical conference, our management, which is Petronas, is very supportive. In fact, recently I did presented Petronas and Nation as a group for innovation competition. So the way how the management sees is very high. They want my team to present to them first before we present it in the international conference. That is how they put efforts for us to develop the technical knowledge. So for example, we bagged a gold medal in fact recently. So for our innovation. So it's surprisingly very supportive in terms of management, and I believe that Petronas as a company look innovation as a tool to be the leaders in the oil and gas industry.
Thank you very much. So it's very good to know that major organizations, especially one like Petronas, really support continuous learning, because I think most companies would want a lot of productivity rather than like operations, but then it's very good that the company actually invests in the human resources and talent building, right? So that brings me to skip a bit the question about balancing productivity and skill development, right? Because Often engineers may face an inherent challenge in finding the right equilibrium between dedicating time to their daily tasks, operational work, and investing time for their continuous learning. So based on your experience, what tactics or strategies can people use to guarantee productivity in their existing position while still making time for skill development and keeping up with your industry requirements? I think we have Mr. Azmi.
Okay, the short answer is to set priority, set schedule, set commitment. That's very easy. It's well known given the money situation. However, what I want to share with you all today, I find a very good culture in Petronas, the culture of coaching. The culture of coaching means if I can push my peer so that he pass his assessment, he pass his professional, I get a credit. If my KPI, it is my KPI to coach others, be my peer or my subordinate. And when you pass, I get a credit in my KPI. Unlike certain companies which I cannot name, they don't have this culture of coaching. In some companies out there, you may find everyone is progressing in silo. Everyone's trying to outdo their peers. There is no mentoring, there's no coaching. They want to be, they want to set on others. But that's what the culture is taking. With that coaching culture, we naturally racing, the lumba racing to push others. Because they will not set on us, but actually we will gain credit effect. So maybe here, maybe I could suggest to lecturers, if your students can provide you evidence that he or she has coached others to pass exam or to do work, maybe they will get more credit over there.
Very good. So they get more credit. Oh, I hear a resounding yes, not loud now. That's right. So a bit like you say like spells also like yeah, the mentor will be able to get points if the mentee does well. So then they generate this culture. So sometimes the institutional policies really play a role in how the culture develops. So that's a very, very good insight. Anything to add there?
You actually answered everything. But I think the culture that I have been through really helped me to become me. So I actually been assigned to many nationalities. So I'm not only stick to Malaysian, but been assigned to cultures from different nationalities. So we can learn from many people from limited local culture.
Is it across the whole of Petronas, like Petronas in worldwide, they all implement the same credit system, or is it just for GTS?
It's actually, I'm actually not from there. We credit by all our teams.
So then maybe I move on. Hi. So as we see, so in Petronas, we see that this technical track for promotion, you become more and more expert in your particular field, and then you go from engineers to, I think, technical professional, and then to principals, and then to custodians, right? So between, so there should be like a balancing act between being an engineer with multiple skills, you know a lot of things, as your friend, you have to do a lot of things, and going through this specialization. So how do you think engineers can navigate this challenge and strike the right balance, ensuring that they are both well-rounded and possess expertise, and yet still possess expertise in a specific domain? Can you share your insights and experience on finding the optimal equilibrium in professional specialization within the engineering field? So maybe you can also tell us, like what we discussed earlier, whether it is good to be general at first, and then you're being specialized later, or you have to be all the time general and specialized at the same time?
Okay, the answer to that, I think, from our experience, I think when you first join the company, right, you're fresh, right, you're in a company. It is better to be general, that you try to get as much knowledge as you can, that you learn everything. And then as you move along, you can become specialized in a certain area. Once you become gain enough experience. This specialization and generalization, it depends on the company that you work for. As for Petronas, we like you to be generalized, but also specialized at the same time. Kind of both, because we need technical people that are expert in certain areas. But he also needs to know other activities as well, right? Because when a gas is integrated, we need to know what the other disciplines are doing as well. To understand at least the basics. Right? But some companies, for example, our vendor companies, join them, they just put you into a special area, and you work there for such a long time, and then you become a really expert and really specialized. And that's how that company prefers its staff, because then you can send this trusted engineer anywhere in the world. Right? So, you have experience in the refinery. This guy, I saw him like many years back, and after 10 years, I still see him coming to do the same thing. And he's just getting gray hair and all. So he's very specialized, right? But he's still valuable to the company. So it depends on the company. But as a fresh grad, I really hope you can learn as much as you can. Right? You not just go into a niche at the early stage. Because then you will not have the flexibility if suddenly you go into another job, right? When you don't ask you to do different thing, then you start to learn and make mistakes. Have to be the both, be general at first, but try to get also as much technical knowledge as you can, so that later you can have a specialized area that you are good with. Then you become valuable to the company. Thank you.
Does it mean that in order for you to rise from engineer to CP to principal, you need to, like in the form that you fill for promotion, maybe you need to have, you need to fill up and say that this is the field I'm specialized in. You need to do that or no? Because like for academics, I think if we ask for promotion, they will ask you whether you are professor in a specific field. So you need to identify yourself in a specific field, so whether or not it's the same with Petronas.
Okay, basically, with Petronas, at the first stages, like Kamil mentioned just now, we need to learn everything. But whenever we want to specialize in that particular discipline, like for instrument control, we got turbo machinery, measurement, and instrument control. So we really focus on what discipline that we, the specific area that we want to focus. For example, like Mr. Kamil is turbo machinery. He really focus on the machinery side. Myself, for measurement, we focus on measurement side. I believe that happens throughout the academician as well. Yeah.
Okay, so as a fresh engineer, it's good to try everything, to go a lot. And also sometimes we don't know what we like yet, right? So unless you venture into specific areas, maybe you haven't discovered your own strengths yet. So it's good to try out a lot of things and then finally you specialize in something. Right. Yeah. Thank you very much. So maybe and then finally, I believe Petronas is in the oil and gas industry, and the oil and gas industry, like many others, grapples with the ethical and social implications resulting from technological advancements in terms of maybe environmental impact, social implications, and then because we have automation and then job displacement. So navigating these ethical and social implications requires a proactive approach. Have you ever encountered such challenges? And how can professionals integrate the broader societal impact and ethical considerations in your decision-making process? Maybe I realize a lot of chartered engineers and we have the professional technology. Maybe we start with CS Zulkarnain.
Okay, thank you, Super. Okay, basically in terms of social recognitions, like professional engineers or professional technologists, what are the difference between the normal engineers and also the certified or professional accreditations? So for info, I think for the info, the difference are actually we are the professional accredited engineers or technologists are bounded to the act actually. For example, like technologists, we got 8 act technologists and technicians 2015 Act 786 that is implemented in the government of Malaysia. So anything that we do, it is actually people can take charge or take if anything happen in our design or our works, people can use that law to use against us. So we are bound to that compared to the normal engineer. That is why I think I believe the signature of the professional accredited personnel is more valuable compared to the normal one. So in Petronas actually for professional accredited, the company actually encouraged us to take the accreditations because at least we are well recognized internationally and also nationally. So we are not on our own. We actually recognized by others. But from that, since we also got our own community within, for example, like professional technologists or professional engineers. Monthly, we got some program that you can join actually to enhance your knowledge and also your networking. In fact, we are in our oil and gas industry. We don't really bounded by our own industry. We can also export to other industry and contribute to others. So that is the main factor, and we are with that we are more open and improve our design. So yeah, I really encourage you guys to take professional accreditation as well when you work.
Maybe others have anything to add? The Kamil?
We're talking about ethics just now, right? And sustainability. So I think for ethics, for Petronas, we have our code of business ethics. That means we have to adhere to the set of guidelines or rules that you must not be at a conflict of interest in any of your work, during any of your work. For example, you are involved in a project in which a company owned by your family is bidding for the project. That's a conflict of interest, so your responsibility to declare this and actually step away from the project. Or you are going to award this project to a vendor, and the vendor asks you to go out for lunch or have some entertainment with them, right? So these are ethics that you must take care of if you are an engineer. When buying items for your projects, make sure all items are delivered with quality. Don't accept if there's any quality issues. These are all ethics that you must adhere to, right? And right now there's other than that, for example, confidentiality of documents, right? Just not share any confidential documents to your vendors when you're outside your edition. And also looking after the company's interest as the main item in your work. And sustainability is also a big item now. So even in our day-to-day projects, we are being stressed to look into the sustainability agenda of you. For example, design something, make sure it's coming from an emission-free source, or that at least have some less emissions to the atmosphere. So you have to design to include this sustainability agenda in your project. So this is a requirement right now. When we started, this is of course not a consideration at all, right? But now things change, so we have to adapt to that, and we have to look at this as part of our day-to-day job. And that is critical to or ethics as an engineer.
And even your vendors, right? Do you check the vendors that they also adhere to this sustainability policy in order to be listed, like accepted as a vendors?
At the moment, yes, we are starting to look into it, but we are not in.
It's still something quite new, I think.
Yes, we are not yet imposing that you must meet certain steps before you can actually supply items. Because a lot of companies in Malaysia are also new to this sustainability, and they don't have much control of some of the products because it's from the GTS or rather design.
So now PETRONAS is concentrating on internal effort first to establish this in the organization. So practically, it's quite easy when you have very clear guidelines, clear policy on your code of conduct, confidentiality. Thank you very much. And then one last question for all the panels, and I think this appeals to all the students. So each panel will give their experience. So looking back at your own personal experience as a young engineer, and then now moving on to climbing up the ladders, what would be your advice to the fresh graduate? They haven't graduated yet in their final year. For the fresh future graduate, for them to prepare to enter the workforce. Maybe you can start. Yeah.
Take one more. So, the easiest one I mentioned just now, when you start work, you will have to learn everything that you can, right? Don't just learn, for example, in oil and gas, there's instrumentation, there's mechanical, there's civil, right? So, for example, instrumentation, so I start work, I just know instrumentation, I don't want to know at all about mechanical, which is at the first when I started, that's how I view it. So I just learn instrument, but actually you need to learn something about mechanical, something about civil, because all those things affect how you do your job. So, and if you don't learn this later, management looks at you, and this guy only know instrument, that guy knows it of a lot of things. So he better to become a manager than you, right? So that kind of view is always management sees it that way. So learn as much as you can. That's my.
Get all a bit here and there.
If I were to give like answer, just now there was a question about which one is there generalized or the specialized. To me, the need to be generalized is simply an understatement. Today's world is very agile, very changing, very dynamic. New challenges come in. We need to be very adaptive quickly to be agile. For example, those who learn electrical faults, you just need to learn about transformers and gray yellow blues, or in those instruments, maybe you just need to learn about PLC and pop and control scheme. However, in year 2010, when the particular country attacked Iran, the facility, in the case, very well known as suddenly, human engineers all over the world struggle to start learning cyber security. So in PETRONAS, as you are seeing here, human engineers sitting in front of you, actually all of us since, let me count, about 7 years ago, we have started to learn IT-ish terminologies, IT knowledge. We need to learn about firewall, we need to learn about VMware zones. So these are new things that we had to pick up, although it is not in our previous syllabus. So if anything I would suggest next is that of those of you learning operational technologies, industrial automation, control system, please add a subject or topic on how to harden your industrial automation control system against cyber attacks. Thank you.
I think that's very good advice, something that we might have overlooked in our quest to do more IoT, more wireless technology. We need to also make sure the wall is not so thin. People can penetrate into easily. So the Mr. Cybersecurity here is telling us please build up your walls very carefully too. Right?
I will not touch on that. When you step out from UC, there are just many different challenges of that industry, right? So my advice is start your career based on your pace, because different people have different pace. And the most importantly, respect people, because today they may become your vendor. Maybe after 5 years, he may become your manager. Because the industry is not really big. The people move so a lot in the industry. We can join as a client, we can join as a vendor. So please respect people in your day-to-day.
So the people skill is very important. Communication and respecting others. GTS Zulkarnain?
Correct. Since I'm the last panel, so let me summarize in 4 points. Okay. Advice to the new leaders. I got four short and concise advice I can share actually. First, embrace the lifelong learning. I still remember how I just graduated and I feel that I don't need to learn anymore when I work. But to be honest, I think that would disappoint you whenever you work later on, especially in engineering, because technology will never stop, and the changes is what you need to learn actually in order for you to deliver to your work. That's number one. Number two is develop soft skills and networking relationship. As Eileen mentioned just now, try to build up your networking. You currently you are sitting side by side of your friends. He or she might be your boss in the future. We don't know. So build up your networking and try to build good people. We never think that would be beneficial for you later on. Don't make any enemy. Okay, the third one is embrace failure as a learning. As engineers, I believe that you will one day you will face failure in your working. So never give up. Take the lesson learned from the failure, and I think the best teacher for us is actually our mistake. And then the fourth one is find a mentor. Why? Because sometimes the path that has been gone through by the previous people is much easier compared to if you take anyone. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the point. Right? And that's why also we invite the experts here to mentor you, because they have walked the path and they know what you need to know. So for now that the experts have already shared their views and experience, so I open to the floor for questions and answers. Is that okay? We need the quiz question later, right? So any questions for the panel? Because if not, we will ask you questions. Yes.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Assalamualaikum. Actually, I have one. So the gap between the education and the industry is really going big, and at the same time, technology is going fast. So my question is, what exactly are you looking for in the graduate or fresh graduate student? Be in your company or any other company which same level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What do you look for in a fresh graduate? Maybe give us some interview questions also.
Yeah, fresh graduates, of course, you look at your results, right? That's the first thing. But a lot of you have good results. So what do we look at next? So we look at your soft skills, right? What have you done outside your academic activities? Do you volunteer? You lead a team, and you resolve some enter the competition and lead and win the competition, what challenges you face. So those all reflect in the soft skills. Soft skills are very important because we know you're a leader, and that means if you are, for example, you are a leader, you are motivated, these all are reflected in your extracurricular activities. So that's what we are looking for. Also that, a balanced person be a best fit for the company.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Like tips for interview? Any? This is your chance, to be noticed. Who is looking for a job?
Later your name.
So, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your time today, for the very engaging talk. Okay. So my question is, as we all know, in the stage of rapid technological advance, it's very important to keep up with it. Okay. So my question is, what is, as soon-to-be graduates, what is our role in the IR4, and why is that role important? Why should we be excited to participate in the IR4?
Okay, thank you. Your name? Omar. Thank you, Omar, for the question. Great one. Right. In my opinion, mention about cybersecurity. I've just told you one case in the year 2010 where the Iran nuclear facility was set. So IR 1.0 is one of the cybersecurity. Okay. So my message is here is you need to pick up new skills, knowledge in cybersecurity, in the sense that you need to know how to harden your electrical, industrial, commercial ecosystem, your instrumentation system, biomedical, from being attacked either wireless or through network. IoT, industrial Internet of Things. This is a manner whereby you could have used IoT technologies to elevate the sustainability of your technology by means of remote autonomous operations, by using less resources, by having more with less resources. You want to add? I wanted to add big thing. At least in Petronas, we have not embarked on blockchain. But we have a roadmap on how we could use blockchain technologies to further improve the efficiency of our operations. I think oil and gas is not as fast as other industries, but we are currently going for that direction. Your question is on, yes, go back to presentation for delivery and also safety. It's all about plant availability, maintenance, performance. All these can be further improved by using the technology that being offered in this IR4. So we can leverage on these advancements of data of the devices, where we can actually improve our plant availability. We can do more with less. We can have a remote work. And then we can actually get our engineers to do more important things other than manually checking the data.
Any question from this side? Yes, very good.
Hi, Mr. Okay, so thank you for wonderful sharing. So I have two questions. So the first question is so for me, being a person who has diverse interests in business, in engineering, in innovation, the new techs, I find it challenging for me to find a niche that suits me. What's the specialized area that's one for me? So may I ask, what's your experience on finding your own niche, having your own specialization to advance career path? And then for the second question is, how do you see?
Okay, thank you. I used to be like you as well, whereby I don't know what to think, what I want to be whenever I was in school. But then eventually, just sharing my experience, how I turned out to be engineers eventually. So actually, if we feel if the one that always interests us is actually the one that closest to our heart or our life. So if you can see engineers or engineering is everywhere. Whatever the cars, the projectors, the technologies, it's always there. That is how it attracts me to be engineer, whereby whenever I touch the equipment, I will think how it works and I will think how it can be improved so that we can benefit to others. So that is how I think my experience, how it turned out to be engineers.
I think maybe my answer it, but you have to choose what you love to do. Right? People they love to do certain things even though they don't get paid, or if they make Steve Jobs and they make millions and billions of salary. It's not the salary that excites them in the job. So I think you should choose something that excites you and that close to your heart, and actually that is what makes you want to do the job, rather than doing something because that offers more money for them. That's how it should be.
Thank you so much for the answer. And so for my second question is like, I think this is quite a new topic and hot trends. May I ask how do you see generative AI to your company, be in your work?
That's yeah. I think we are starting to use AI in an efficient way. For example, give us write some report, for example. But not. I know you guys use it, right? So you have the skills already. But no, we can't really use the same kind of AI for our report. Kind of to help us along, but not actually to write the whole report. Because you know how this AI generates the text. You can spot it immediately that it's AI. Right? I mean, we can see because some of the interns when they reply to our email, I can see this whole paragraph that this I won't write like that. It's a computer that's ready. So you can see, right? So you got to be careful using AI, especially for reports and things like that. But we are starting to use it, but in a very careful manner. And it's not really the company does not really push us or motivate us to use it. It's more like a tool for us. So again, very careful using it, and we are not allowed to put in sensitive company information on the internet to generate, for example, a text, right? This calculate the profit or something like that. It's not so that's how we use it at the moment.
Thank you so much.
Whenever you want to use the academic, make sure you know what to do. Because sometimes we talk people that they have been doing it, but they don't know how to do it. Please make sure you know what you want when you wake up.
Thank you so much for the answers.
Thank you for the questions as well. Yeah. Any other question? Oh, very excited. Ben first.
As we all know, every country are going towards zero emission. Basically, we are going to use less of fossil fuel. So, as Petronas main sort of revenue is oil and gas, how do Petronas combat Dan ni kita tahu bila untuk seluruh units dengan mencuba untuk menggunakan fossil fuel. So macam mana apa tidak Petronas untuk mengalami perkembangan issues? Thank you for the question. Yes, there is a concept of a worldwide that every country needs to meet net zero carbon emission exactly by year 2050. Net zero means if a country is producing, the same country must put effort to negate the effect of the positive contribution. So eventually get zero. Positive plus the becomes zero effect. Right. In Petronas, one of the ways that we are zeroing or putting a negative emission is we have projects such as for the project offshore, whereby it is a project, it's installation to keep carbon in underground. It's called CCUS, carbon capture and sequestration. Okay. You can see from our moving forward together, we have this 30% of non-conventional petrochemical. So actually we have our own non-conventional energy arm called Zulkarnain, where it focuses on other sources of energy such as wind turbine, solar, and other. So this is what we other business area that we are going into also. So we are not limited to. We also involved in hydrogen. For example, in Kuching right now we have projects going on hydrogen dispenser, and also like as we say, we also really going for carbon capture. We capture and we store the carbon in our offshore field.
Very interesting to know the new technology and the going forward plans, right? One last question.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you for joining us today. One of you mentioned an important point, which is having a coach, because it's very hard to learn on your own. So may I ask you how, as a fresh graduate, how you can find a coach, how you can make someone coach you, or in your own experience, how did you manage to get someone to coach you?
Okay, as during the work or during the study?
After you graduate, like when you have no experience, how do you manage to find someone?
Okay, all right. Thank you for this question. Okay, basically on the coach itself, how do we want to find a coach, a good coach, perhaps? It's actually it's very strategic. First, you need to make a rapport or build up a good reputation with others, especially on the seniors and perhaps on the like DPs and so on. From there, you can learn step by step from them. So that is why in my advice just now, try to develop a soft skill and working rapport. That is very important because human beings, if you study on human behavior, for example, like if you let's say if you want to integrate with a spy, for example, you cannot force the victims to tell you the info. No, simply cannot. That is robot. You can do that. But there is tricks for you to extract the info for the person. That is actually by relationship or reputation with them. You need to be nice with them. let them be comfortable with you, and then eventually they will teach you step by step. That is how the spy works actually. The spy, if you watch a movie, they try to punish the victim so that they give info. That is not right actually. The way the spy works actually by building a rapport with the victims, and then they will start the info. Okay.
Sorry, who here wants a coach from Petronas? Who here wants a coach from Petronas? So now, basically, you've known Encik Effendy, Encik Zulkarnain, Encik Rahimi, Encik Azmi, Encik Kamil, and myself. So go through your supervisors, and we will gladly be one of your coach to consult you in your projects or any technical aspect that you give us. Okay.
Thank you very much for the generous offer. And you know they'll every hour they charge certain amount one. Now they are offering the time to coach you. So really appreciate it. One last question to the guy at the back. Last.
Good afternoon. So my question is more towards engineering management, okay, to our topic. So as we know, we have MBA in our, pursuing for masters. So I'm curious if MBA important for us to apply for, like, we can easily get a managing role, like apply for higher role if we have studied MBA. And is it better to immediately go for MBA after we finish our first degree, or after we going into industry work for several years and we take the MBA? Yeah, this is my question.
The Zurix. Okay, master. I think MBA is important, even though you're an engineer, because in engineer you also need to manage network as well, right? You manage your team, or you become an engineering manager or project manager, project director. So management skills are required. But whether to get it early on or later, I think both is possible. Early on would probably be good because you have still have the motivation from being a student. Once you work, it's a bit, the work will bog you down, or you don't have enough time. You can still do it, of course, but probably still more challenging. That's what I think. Well, do you agree? You did master well, okay.
Okay. So basically like this. It's back to your question, actually. Right. So we do not force someone to further their studies. Can you force yourself to further study? Okay, so basically, I think we've got to go back to the demand now. Okay, I think back during our age, most of the graduates from UC, they've got maybe degree. Degree is good back then. Back then, it was back then, degree is good. Some people who come back from university, they come with degree and then they extended the 1 or 2 years to get master's, then come back with a master's as well. But nowadays, I think your competitions nowadays mostly comes out with masters. Am I wrong? Right, mostly a master, right? Most people they come to master. They are still degree, but there are more masters as you go along. Still. So if you ask me personally, I think that if you have the passion and you have the strength to continue study, go for it. I would like to take example. I did my further study, and not just me, I think Mr. Rahimi is also taking his PhD. Zulkarnain is also going to pursue his PhD. Mr. Kamil, Mr. Azmi is soon to register for their PhD. So that's why they say learning is no form of passion, and it's just you never too old to learn. You can take your master's later, you can take your PhD later. It will benefit you in a way. One day it will benefit you. I hope that answers the question.
Now is the time for the panel to ask you questions, because they require, now is the time to check if you have been listening. So this question, the good news is you get prizes for this question. Now we have 8 prizes. So 2 questions from each panel, right? We start from Mr. Rahimi, since you are having the mic.
To be the content of the
Up to you. Anything?
okay, simple questions. How many towers in Category?
If you ask that question, choose the person to answer that.
I mean, how many towers, Petronas towers in Category? It's not true.
Not two.
Simple question at the back.
The back four.
Okay.
3 there.
We all of us in power grid.
Oh, you are in power three. You got it right. 3. Put down and make your prize. It teaches you, as long as you try, you have a chance. Okay, next question, Mr. Kamil.
Okay, Mr. Zulkarnain just previously summarized the 4 things that you need to learn or experience.
Let's graduate.
Yeah. Can you name one of them?
The girl is correct. Oh, okay. Sorry.
The one that raise hand.
The lady teacher. Embrace failure as learning.
Yes, that's right.
Very good. Next question. Okay, Mr. Azmi will ask the next question. The security expert. Difficult question.
All right. What is it that all countries in the world needs to meet by year 2050?
Dia lagi ya.
Kita tukar question. Okay, kita boleh.
Dia lagi.
Zero net carbon emission. I think that we are not quite correct. Yes, zero carbon emission. Correct.
Another lesson, try and try again. Right? Thank you very much. Congratulations. Yes, Zulkarnain. The
Okay.
fourth question.
For question, this is a simple one. Basically, let's try to touch on the ethical. What are the difference between the normal engineer and professional accredited engineer? Yeah.
Bounded by the laws. So that means that the laws can be used against them, but also their like decisions and stuff they make are more valuable because it's required locally as
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good. Please take note. Food voucher, 50 ringgit. We have 4 more questions. 4 more prizes, 4 more questions. So, Mr. Rahimi, start again. Oh,
I don't have questions. Okay, there are three elements moving forward together. Then, because now that I answered the third one, so name the first one. Moving forward together. Petronas include. Thank you. Have to. The first Petronas moving forward together.
Yeah, the first one was value, 50% improvement in cash flow from operations by 2025.
Thank you very much. Very happy with the answers. Oh, been listening, taking notes, good job. Next one.
Next question. Why are technical standards important?
okay, come on. Many more?
To ensure quality and the score of accountability.
Some more, can we do some more? Some more,
Yeah, to protect quality. And also to make the standards are low, you will be accountable.
I think, okay, we can accept parts of the factors are there.
Maybe actually communicate elaborate the food.
Dua. Lagi dua. Dua.
And then, Zulkarnain.
Okay,
Pun Samsung dalam ni.
Samsung, okay.
Kotak dia.
Okay, soalan satu. Okay. Okay lah, saya punya soalan, pesan last kali pula, apart from embrace and learn, embrace and learning, and learning, okay, what are the two other things that I to inform you guys? Two others.
Yes.
First is to embrace lifelong learning. Second is to find a mentor.
Right, thank you.
Okay, last question. I try to be
Last question. Last question from Mr. Azmi. Yes.
right.
Tahu lah, tak boleh.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I try to make it as difficult. Okay, can I have Professor Eileen to look out who raised hand first?
Okay.
Right? And then, right. Name me three in full words, not just abbreviations. Three professional bodies related to instrument and or electrical. Actually, I will mention this.
This one.
So,
Stakeholder is everybody, IC and SI. Engineers. Institute of Electrical Engineering. Hold on. So IEEE is Institute of Electrical Engineering and Electronics. Engineers. Second one, IEC is Institute of Electrical
strong.
I don't know. What is it? What is it? Commission. Okay. Again, what IC is Institute of Electrical International Electrical International Engineering Commission.
Sudah angkat tadi.
Google dah. Google dah.
Oh,
Cannot see the phone one.
This is Institute of Engineering Institute of Engineering Technology. Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. And Institute of Power. Institute of Power Engineers. Institute of Power Engineers. I didn't mention that. I didn't.
Okay, we'll try. So last one. Last one.
Okay, because actually the system has been out, so the next person has to mention two more bodies that have not been mentioned just now.
So far, it's
Top one. Because it's stickers are already.
Betul.
Karena Imran eh.
Okay.
Kawan kita lah. Kita bisa berambah.
I think IEM. International Institute Engineering Malaysia. IEM. Everyone in IC.
We feel different. Sorry, I feel really mentioned this one.
UTM.
What is ITM? Let's get into it now.
Siapa dulu?
DEN. The long one is Engineer Malaysia. Yeah, something related. Okay, so the EC. Second body. Okay, long one Russia. What is the second body? Oh, IAS. What was the long word?
This involves fighting for your chance.
Can I give 5 picks to you? So for the first one, unity in terms of zero and technology, I think we'll be next week. Another one is IC, and the second one is oil and gas Asia. Asia is the event organizer.
Professional body, professional, professional body.
Governing body, because governing body is so professional. The next unit here is that we really want something. We will raise for it, we will upright each other. This is the unit that we want. ISO What is ISO? International Organization for Standardization.
Kita tunggu jawapan panel.
Okay, Kono? The reason I think the ISO is what they call it is a standardization body, standard body, not a professional body, unlike and thank you very much. I just really want to now, One of the ways, Malaysia, first one is Board of Engineers, Malaysia. Okay. Engineering, Malaysia. Sorry. Every society in the US. One more is Electric Power Research Institute.
Betul.
See, I don't know professional.
But it doesn't matter.
Boleh lah. Tambah tu lah.
Okay, if you cannot get it, the price goes to you.
Finally,
So, Society of Petroleum of Engineers, Society,
I was making electrical and instrument.
Society of Automotive Engineers. Yeah.
If you try and get the spending of people, in this way, Association of Political Society and Audio Engineering Society. It's technology, you don't talking about audio. I still have to remind that have not been mentioned Washington Accords. Washington Accords. Okay, and then another is JEDEC, Joint Electron Device in Engineering Council. The standardization is a standardization. You said JEDEC is standardization or is it more like IT there? So I said about thank you very much. Congratulations.
Congratulations, huh? You beat all other contestants. Right?
I mean, the other two answers are not exactly that I think I mentioned is ISA. I think is the International Society of Automation. That's one. Another one that's been mentioned is Institute of Measurement and Control. At least there is there's more here in my page.
So we have answer C1. The answer C1. I thank you very much to all our panelists today. Mr. Effendy and Dr. Zurix, right? Give us a round of applause. Right? Souvenir and sorry. Okay, so I put the mic to MC, Dr. Cruz.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we have come towards the end of our industry and program today. So as the final agenda before we leave, we would like to have a certificate and award delivery ceremony to express our sincere gratitude. Thanks to our invited speakers, or the experts from GTS PETRONAS. So with that, I'd like to invite our program leader, Dr. India, accompanied by Secretary, to present the certificate and also the token of appreciation to each of our faculties and also our speakers today. So first, I'd like to invite Dr. India and Zurix Mohamed to come to the front.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Effendy. So today, if you consider for a minute, because you have a group photo before we end. So next we have Mr. Kamil and Arshad.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile.
Next we have Hashim.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile.
Thank you. Next we have Mr. Rahimi, Zaman, Jusoh, Rashid.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile.
Last but not least, we have technology Zulkarnain, Mokhtar.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile.
All right, thank you very much. So we have also the representative of performance. I'd like to so we have a representative from the performance. I have to exchange token. We spoken to you. We would like to invite
One, two, three.
I thank you very much. So thank you very much for complete participation throughout the 3-hour session. So before we leave,